You may be wondering, Helloween, this is still not Alan Wake. The hell are you doing? And you're completely right, it's not. But this is this is a lot quicker review this time of just a game. Well, to be honest, it's more one of my favourite games, I suppose, more than anything else. But I can't do any footage of it, sadly, so I'm just going to ramble and chat and waste your time about it instead. So I do apologise, but something I wanted to get off my chest for a little while. It's a game that some of you have probably played, and a lot of you probably haven't. It's called Nier, N-I-E-R, Nier. It's an absolutely fantastic action RPG from Square Enix. I was going to say Squaresoft then, isn't that sad? That's how old I am. Tragic. Anyway, Nier is an action RPG that on the surface looks like pretty much any other, a fantasy world, a protagonist who's trying to, not save the world, but more sort of look after his daughter and sort of keep her safe. And he lives in a village, his village gets attacked, that pretty standard stuff, what you think. But that's what you think, really. It's completely not standard. And unfortunately, I can't say too much without actually ruining it. But let's put it this way. It's not a standard RPG. It is a very, very interesting RPG. If you like bog standard RPGs, I don't think this is what you're looking for. If you like something that is daring to sort of try something different, to go somewhere you don't expect it to have a story in it that just will probably will keep you interested, blow your mind, and make you cry all at the same time. It's fantastic. So that's a little intro I've got for that. Hopefully that's enough to get you intrigued. I will be doing the intro clips for Nier at the end of this review, in case you want to see what the game's like. That's all I can do, I'm afraid. I don't have a way of recording the Xbox. If I could, I would have probably done an LP on this game, let's put it that way. Anyway, moving on to, I'm just going to go quickly into the aesthetics of the game and the graphics in general. Graphically, Nier isn't particularly impressive. I'm going to get that out of the way. It's decent enough, but if you're trying to compare it to something next to probably the latest Final Fantasy or The Witcher 2 or anything like that, it doesn't really scream, I'm an amazing graphics game. It doesn't scream that. But what it does scream out is, aesthetically, the design of the game is really interesting. The way everything has a certain look to it for a certain reason. I hate to be so cryptic. I know how much I hate cryptic bullshit, but it's one of those things I don't want to spoil, and it's worth seeing yourself. Have a look at the intros, you'll see what I mean. The enemies are all intricately designed in a certain way. The characters, I think, while the main character is an ugly bastard, I think he looks perfect for what he's trying to do. He's the father figure in this game. He's trying to protect the cute little daughter. He doesn't need to look like the traditional sort of well-washed, beautiful, like Japanese RPG hero. He's a grizzled old man. Sort of, he's a 40-year-old sort of father. He's not out there to win a beauty contest. He's out there to look tough and to provide for his daughter. I think his character design looks great. All of the characters, I think, look as they should, and one character in particular is quite interesting. She has a certain way with her clothes, which at first you think, well, it's a pretty traditional Japanese RPG, a woman wearing a revealing outfit, but she has her reasons, and I think, again, that's really plays into it. But again, I can't really go into it, which I do apologise for. I sound like a bloody advertisement for this game. In a sense, this is almost what it is. I want to raise the awareness if you haven't played it or seen it before. Moving on from, I suppose, from the aesthetics of the characters, everything about the world looks great. It's an abandoned civilization style world, if you like, where there's remnants of the old world lying around, like train tracks that have been disused for millennia, that kind of thing. And it really does suit the world you're in. I think it looks great. Moving on, like I said, this is a bit of a quick review, so do apologise. I'm going to add an extra bit here for the sound, because this game has had its OST, I think it's won awards, and it's been remixed 4 separate times. There's a reason for that. The soundtrack is one of the best gaming soundtracks you will ever hear. I've put it into a couple of my videos before, including a Minecraft video and the 1000 video one in the Silent Hill section. If you do anything today, even if you don't play it, YouTube the soundtrack. Trust me. Believe me. Take my word for it. Have I earned your trust? Please, have I earned your trust at this point? Just trust me on this. Go Google the soundtrack. Listen to it. Be amazed. It is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. It doesn't matter what genre of music you like. If you just appreciate music, you will love this soundtrack. I think the game also unfairly sometimes gets referred to as an okay RPG with an amazing soundtrack. I think it's an amazing RPG with an amazing soundtrack. I think they complement each other perfectly. From the upbeat, sort of almost, I wouldn't say jolly tunes, because jolly is certainly not where Nier excels. Nier doesn't do jolly, Nier does miserable and depressing. But the sort of the more upbeat tunes, to the sort of sad piano music it's got going, to the perfect sort of song that one of the characters sings with a little homemade guitar. All this is absolutely great, and the sound is just something to behold. Or listen to, more likely, because behold is seeing, and that doesn't even make any sense. Quiet, Helloween, you scum! You're doing it wrong. Sorry. Anyway, moving on then to the story. As much as I can't say anything, what I can say to you is, it is incredible. It is something worth seeing, and you will not believe the story. You will not believe what is going on. It has 4 endings, and you get one after finishing the game. You finish the game once, you get New Game Plus with different bits in it, I might add. So the New Game Plus has new content and new things, and then you get another ending, then another ending, then another ending, and they all add on to each other. And because of that, and because of the way the story works, you're hooked from start to finish. You want to know. You care for these characters. You desperately need to know what happens to them. But what I will say, don't go into the story thinking it's a happy, jolly Japanese RPG. It is not. It is majority of the time absolutely miserable. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It's absolutely gripping, but it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking, and it is worth experiencing. That's all I can say. I'm very, very sorry for the cryptic bollocks. I really am, but I can't say anything more. I can gush and gush and gush, but at the end of the day, the story is just worth it. It's worth going for it. Trust me. Do yourself a favour. Go to your local GameStop. Go to your local game. Go to your local game store. Pick up a copy of Nier for like $5, £5, €8. It's not very expensive. Do yourself a favour. Okay. Moving on quickly to the gameplay. The gameplay is an action RPG in the vein of, say, Secret of Mana, I guess. More Secret of Mana than, say, Final Fantasy. Obviously, it's action RPG. Terranigma style, maybe, is another way of explaining it. Zelda-esque. But it blends lots of genres. In this Zelda-esque style, you also have almost shoot-'em-up sections. You also have puzzle-solving sections that come out of nowhere. You have like a moving minecart section. Lots and lots of different gameplay types. You even have a interactive story section, which is just text, and it's very, very different. And it really all blends together to make the perfect style of RPG. I think it's something that keeps you on your toes, keeps you interested. But the main bread and butter of the game is the combat in the RPG, which it does competently. It's not the most amazing combat system you'll ever see, but it is very fun. It's very fluid. And more importantly, Nier moves around at a nice, decent pace, and that makes a difference when you're running around. Because I don't know if you're like me, you're on Hyrule Field playing as Link, and you go yeah, 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 as you're like rolling your way through the field because you move so damn slowly. Whereas Nier moves very quickly. Plus, I kid you not, you can surf on a boar. I'm not kidding. You can get on the boar, you can get him, and you surf your way down that field. You will surf your way across the game world, and you will stop. You will turn to your nearest friend, your wife, your spouse, your husband, your friends, your family, and you will say, "Today, I surfed on a boar." And they will look at you like, "What?" And you think, "Yes, I surfed on a boar. Come at me, bros. I surfed on a boar." And that's the bosses are all epic, exciting, and brilliant. And generally, the gameplay is very, very good. Going quickly into the pros of the game, I've pretty much already covered. The story is one of the main pros. The gameplay itself is one of the main pros, very varied, and the soundtrack is absolutely stunning. You will love the characters, you will love the gameplay, you will love the soundtrack. It is sort of a great package for that. The cons, graphically, like I said, in places it's not particularly brilliant. It can be a bit ugly. I don't think there's actually many other cons, really. I'm trying to be subjective. I'm trying to be like objective here. I'm trying to give a fair sort of point. And I know, of course, this is all opinion. This is just my opinion. I don't see many problems with it. The fishing section, a lot of people hate. I agree, that's pretty lousy. If we're going to make a con up, that's a pretty lousy minigame. The farming minigame you have in there is all done in real time, which is really irritating if you want achievements. If you're an achievement hunter, trying to do that in real time is a bit irritating. You actually have to fiddle with the game clock on your PlayStation or Xbox to deal with it. That's really dumb and really stupid. But other than that, I honestly can't think of many like actual problems I had with the game. The camera's fine, the way he controls is fine, the loading screens are barely there. And that's it. I don't see any real issues with it. There's save points, if that annoys you. I wasn't particularly bothered by save points because they're all in a decent place. The game isn't particularly difficult, unless you crank it up to hard right at the start, which it will kick your ass. So I'd say if you like difficulty, this probably isn't for you in that sense. So that's another con. I think overall, what can I say about this game that I haven't already said? Unfortunately, it is so worth your time. I know this is less a review and me just generally just talking about a game I really love. It is to me, it's almost like an important game. I think it's it's such an underrated, missed gem of this generation. I hope in years people will come back and look at this game and say, why did people not buy this? This is an absolute masterpiece of a game, and it's something worth experience for everybody. And that's what I've got to get to say on the game, I think. At the end of the day, the general verdict, Helloween says Nier is amazing. Please trust him and pick it up if you like action RPGs with amazing soundtracks and amazing stories and decent gameplay. And that's it. I'm now going to put the intro to the game on. I hope you watch that and enjoy it, because it is absolutely hilarious and great fun. It gives you a bit of a brief sort of go of what the gameplay's like, what the characters are like, and what the music is like. So thank you for listening to essentially my shilling of Nier. I try to sell it to you here, clearly. Less a review, more of one of my favourite games, but without footage. So I do apologise for that. And that's it. With that done, Alan Wake will be starting Saturday or Sunday. I think I've probably got it all sussed, and I think we're ready to go then. So thank you very much. Enjoy Nier's intro. Until then.
Vice, you dumbass! Start making sense, you rotten book, or you're gonna be sorry. Maybe I'll rip your pages out one by one, or maybe I'll put you in the goddamn furnace. How can someone with such a big smart brain get hypnotized like a little bitch, huh? Oh, Shadow Lord, I love you, Shadow Lord. Come over here and give Vice a big sloppy kiss, Shadow Lord. Now pull your head out of your goddamn ass and start fucking helping us!